This was such a special year for me. I so enjoyed playing the man in the chair and all of his disgruntled glory. Usually when we're doing the plays, we love watching each other during the rehearsal process, but as it gets closer to the play and as it gets better to watch, as all the costumes come together and the scenes and songs come together, is when Margie doesn't usually like us to watch. She's always telling us, stop watching, get backstage, get ready for your entrance. But I was lucky because I had the best seat in the house every night. I got to watch and quell in real life and in character. That was pretty good.
Drowsy was joyful and fun. It was the first show I did after I became a mother and my life was completely consumed with that. So to step out at night with loving peers and act crazy and wacky and silly, it was great. It was just pure fun and happiness.
Thank you for letting me be a part of that awesome show. I live in New York now. It stands out as one of my happiest memories of Los Angeles. And Janet Vandergraaf has always been one of those epic characters. So I was so honored and terrified when you trusted me with the part. The Jewish Women's Repertory Company is, responsible for helping me meet so many of my closest friends and introducing me to the community, and I just have the warmest spot in my heart for it, and especially for the Drowsy Chaperone.
Drowsy has such a special place in my heart. It was our first show for some of us. I know it was mine and it was Goldie's first show. There were a couple of us who are all new to the JWRC experience, and while I had watched many shows, this was my first show to be in. And that's when you make all the discoveries of how beautiful this whole thing is.
So one of my favorite things about this show was that not only was it really a chance for me to grow closer with my JWRC family, as I really did with every single show, but it really was an opportunity for me to see everyone's comedic chops, everyone's hilarious sides, and I just loved that so much.
I loved every single bit of being in the Drowsy Chaperone. I loved every person in the cast. It was so amazingly cast, and I loved every single scene I was in, every single one that I wasn't in. I was always watching from the wings. I loved the show and everything about it.
My experience of doing Drowsy Chaperone was just a blast. It was so much fun. It was a great show. Everybody seemed like they were just having the best time in it. I really just loved it. So it was really just pure joy and fun. I have just great memories of Drowsy.
Underling was the perfect role for me. Getting spit at over and over again by people who talk down to you, yet you pretend to listen to them, even though they have no clue, while you make sarcastic comments in the background? Welcome to my world. And the ice watcher? Yes, madam. We have to stay hydrated, don't we?
The Drowsy Chaperone has a very special place in my heart because it is the first JWRC production that I was in. After a year of getting over my fears and finally telling myself I just need to do it, I walked into the auditions not knowing anyone. And in front of me I saw these kind faces, and yet I said to them, I don't know what's wrong with me. I am a grown woman, a mother of 5, and I'm so nervous. And I remember Kalila said to me, don't worry, I've been part of the JWRC for so many years, and every single year by auditions, my heart races too. And that really calmed me down. I got into the show, and I've never looked back.
After a tough year after graduate school looking for work, I finally got a job offer in April at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. And at the same time, I was looking for a way to go back to my background and my hobby of musical theater and performing and singing. And just in time, a friend of mine told me that her cousins were involved in performances through this company called the Jewish Women's Repertory Company. And I looked them up, and I saw that they were doing Drowsy Chaperone, and I had no idea what Drowsy Chaperone was. But I figured it was a good chance to try and meet some new people and get back into my hobby. And I am so grateful that I did. I made tons of friends and have loved every moment since I've been involved with JWRC, and it's all thanks to Drowsy Chaperone.
The Drowsy Chaperone has a really special place in my heart because it was the very first JWRC show I was a part of. And I made so many great friends and connections Even like people I went to the same high school with, but we missed each other by a few years, I met them and we just really bonded and it was great.
What was so meaningful to me about the Drowsy Chaperone was getting the opportunity again to perform with the JWRC, and it was amazing to be reunited with so many of the people in the cast from the year before. It was like rejoining my family, like some old friends, and it's just amazing what Margie does in bringing all of us together, and so I really consider myself so lucky to be a part of it.
Looking back at the Drowsy Chaperone, I feel that there were a lot of good messages, a lot of musser, especially things that the chaperone said. I mean, as we stumble along through life's little journey, the best that we can do is just listen to a little bird. And I think that might be the key to life, especially in these trying times. Plus lots of ice water.
I loved every second of the Drowsy Chaperone, from the auditions to the performances. It was definitely the funniest show that we've ever done, with such memorable characters. I loved the story of the show within a show and all the commentary from the man in the chair. From the moment that I started working on the show, my son Nathan loved it too, and to prove that I begin working on shows years before we actually perform them, here's a video of Nathan singing Show Off from May 8th, 2011, when he was 3 years old, a full 2 years before our Drowsy auditions.
And that's I don't wanna wear. I want to keep more. I don't want to show off. She don't want to show off no more. Oh, no more. Not. You want to do cold feet?
No.
Okay.